5 is the wall mentally, man, because with the influences in the world now, by the time a woman hits 25, she feels like she's God's gift to men. Number one thing older women I've dated had in common, and when I say older, let me clarify again, I do mean older than 25, 26. From 27 on up is what I'm talking about when I say older. They all had either been married to or been pregnant by some other man at some point in their lives. At some point, they had already been in a situation where they had been in that type of energy, that type of DNA, that type of genetic exchange with some other man. Back in the day, you could meet a 25-year-old chick and she be bad, still bad. You can't tell she's 25. She still look like she's 19, 20. Now, they look more on the other side of 25, not because they can't do better. They don't feel the need to do better because by 25, they've already been fed this matriarchal feminist mindset that makes them feel like they're God's gift to men instead of you being a gift to them. And they've got that in their mind by 25 already, man. You know, they go into these institutions of secondary education and we're thinking they're going there just learning from books. No, they're learning a social hierarchy as well, that they are treated like they're the prize. And once you're treated like you're the prize, you become convinced that you are the prize. No one can tell. Listen, man, if you meet 50 women and 49 of them treat you like you the prize, it's that one who doesn't going to change your mind about feeling like you the prize. Of course not. You're going to think something wrong with her. And that's the same way they do, man. And then you got the beta males all over social media, man, that's liking things. Man, let me tell you something. Beta male be liking women, man. They know don't look good to them, man. They just like any woman that show parts of her body, man. They don't really care. If she's not concerned about taking care of her own self, then what's going to make her in any way be efficient in taking care of our situation? You know what I'm saying? I don't need her to take care of me, but there are things she needs to do to take care of our situation if she's going to be involved in it. So when you think about the fact that they had all either been married or pregnant by some other man at some point, that's a lot of energy, man, that she's already given to another man, especially if she's got the child by the man. That's a lot of energy there, man. That child is the energy bridge between her and that man. As long as that child is there, that's how it's going to be, man. The second thing, man, that they have in common, man, is they went out of their way to embrace masculine energy as a substitute for their femininity. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. They were trying to get from under what they call the pressure of being feminine by embracing the feminist energy that tells them that you can be more masculine and less feminine because you can. You see what I'm saying? Because you can. They went out of their way to embrace masculine energy as a substitute for femininity, man. When a woman gets to a certain age, she starts to feel like femininity has not served her well. She becomes angry about, you know, what she's done, what femininity has led her into because she didn't embrace it. She just thinks because she's a woman, even though she didn't embrace the femininity, she didn't embrace the submissive role, she still blames femininity for putting her in the situation as he was in where none of her relationships worked out. That's another reason. I like women who are young. You can even call them young and dumb, but I like women who are young and carefree because they haven't had those experiences in the world. And I'm a great dude, man. If a young chick comes into my life, man, and she opens herself up to me, man, and she does what I tell her to do, and she follows my instructions, she ain't gonna be hurt. I ain't gonna do her bad. I ain't gonna treat her like crap, man. I'm gonna treat her well. I'm treated as well as she deserves to be treated. So that's why I feel like I don't have to go over that line, man, and cross over into the Harvey Wallbangers, man. I ain't doing it. The third thing is, man, they never thought, and this is a big one. Listen to this one, fellas. This is a big one. They never thought any time was a good time to just shut up and listen. You see, every time ain't time for a woman to try to have a response or try to get the last word in or try to prove that she knows something about the topic too. Sometimes it's best for a woman to just shut up and listen, man. Let me tell you something about the gig economy. The gig economy is simply a young man who accepts the sugar daddy role young because the sugar daddy role is beneficial. because there are only certain things that she's going to bring to the table that you even want to have. That's why sugar babies, as they're called, are always young. Don't no man want a sugar baby that's 35. Let me tell you something, man. When she hits the wall, man, her options are this. She can either be by herself, be just something to do for a man that's close to her age or even older. Just be something to do when he ain't got nothing else to do. Or she can have a younger man who's going to be financially dependent on her, who looks at her as a financial come up. Those are her options. And that is why I feel like if you're not in either of those scenarios, if you're not a young man who could use the paper, you should never do it. So they never thought any time was a good time to just shut up and listen. It doesn't matter what kind of game you giving up. If she got in her mind that she knows a lot, and like I told you, man, I deal with college chicks. I'm not talking about chicks that's in college. I'm talking about chicks with multiple degrees. If she ain't got multiple degrees, man, I ain't really worrying about her, man. And the thing is, this is the crazy thing about her having multiple degrees. She's got all those degrees. She making all that money. But when you come to my crib and look at how I'm living and you look at how she living, man, I'm living as good as she is or better. And so when I come across them, they have this thing where they got everything together, man, but not for real. I'm going to tell you another thing. They all believe that their formal education was an efficient replacement for logical common sense. Don't have a lick of common sense. And I'm talking about, man, don't even understand what common sense is. But it's a whole lot of information from out of somebody's book that doesn't apply to anything except that particular field. Nothing else. But will not for the life of them. That's why, man, listen, man, you got to have what I call the open ear syndrome when it comes to having conversation with women. Everything they say has to go in one ear and out the other. All you need to focus on is what you want to say and what you think. Every single thing she says must go in one ear. You must disregard it all. There ain't enough valuable information in there to even really consider listening to it for real. All you're going to get is some incendiary thing that is going to put you on the defensive, because if you listen to it too much, you can tell that there's underlying disrespect intended. So I just let everything they say go in one ear and out the other, bro. I ain't trying to listen to nothing. I ain't trying to hold on to none of the information. I ain't trying to treat it like it's valuable information. I just don't listen to it, man. I let it go in one ear and out the other so quick, bro. That's just what I do, man. So I just pay no attention to it, man, because literally, man, she has no ability for cognitive reasoning. It's just going to be something that's going to be the opposite of what you say, because she agreeing with what you say is just, she can't do that. She can't bring herself to do that. To just agree with you all the time, even when she knows you're right, she can't agree with you all the time. She's just going to say incendiary things that are contrary to what you're saying, man. Now, and I'm going to tell you another thing, man. They all believe their presence should have been enough for a man. Like, they all believe that them just being there was enough. The extra effort and all that, they feel like when they do that, that requires some reward from you. That requires some accolades, some recognition from you that they're doing a special thing. Anything outside of their presence, they believe you should take special consideration of that thing and pedestalize them because of that thing. And the reason is, I ain't never did this for nobody else. Let me tell you something. The only thing you can tell me that you ain't never did for nobody else that means something to me is that you ain't never had sex with nobody.
Alpha sub, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alpha sub, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alpha sub, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alpha sub, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha.